Hello, once again welcome to a brand new video for this week. This is S. Sudarshan, your career coach from Right Careers. Before we move on to this week's video, I think it's time for me to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed to my channel. With all your support, we have crossed 250 subscription last week, and when I speak now, it is as of now it's 283. And once again, thank you very much for all the support that you have rendered, for all the encouragement that you have made in making this a grand success, I would say. And I would look forward to have more and more support in the near future. This kind of support has only made me more responsible in bringing more videos for the students from now on. And I promise you that you will have lot of information about different careers from as usual from now on. Moving on to this week's video, I think I've taken a topic called careers in law. So law, we all know it's one of the ancient profession that's been there. I think since the time immemorial, I would say it's been there for a long time. So it's not something that has come very recently. It's been there for quite a long time. Now, law as a profession is usually derived out of inspiration, or it is usually it usually comes based on the family. Your grandfather would be a great lawyer, would be a lawyer. He would have a law firm. Your father will also, would have been a lawyer. You also pursue lawyer. So that's again a possibility. You also get inspired, as I told before. Some of the famous lawyers that we know is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the father of the country, himself being a lawyer. More than him, I don't think we need inspiration to study law. And then you have Barack Obama, who is again was a practicing lawyer. And then you have Mr. Parasaran. We all know the kind of good things that he has done to the country. We have the famous Subramaniam Swamy. So I can list out the lawyers by, they're celebrities. Very simple. So law, people choose law because of various reasons, because of family history, because of inspiration, etc. Now, who can be lawyers? Right, you have to have an etiquette for every profession that you choose. So first of all, if you are good at communication, you have to be very good at your communication skills, be it oral or written. This profession demands good amount of communication skills. 2, you need to be a ferocious reader if you have to take law as a profession, because this involves detailing, this involves studying case. You have to go back to history, you have to go to as old as 1934 Act, 1956 Act, sale of goods. So you have to have strong reading skills if you have to choose law. Definitely you have to be research oriented, because unlike any other profession, this is more of precedence in nature, which means you will quote that there was a precedent earlier. Similar to the case. So you have to have a very strong research fundamental if you have to become a lawyer. But more importantly, your logical reasoning has to be spot on. If your logical reason, to be a successful lawyer, your logical reasoning skills has to be very high. And if you find all these 4 skills in you, you can definitely choose law as a career. Now that we have seen what are the etiquettes of becoming a lawyer, how to become a lawyer? How does a student become a lawyer? So if you're a class 11 or 12 student, and if you've not thought about anything, which group to choose for studying into law, don't bother. You can take any group. You can take science group, you can take science group with biology, you can take commerce group, you can take humanities group. You can still become a lawyer. So how does it works? It basically works on a 5-year model, where you can study BA with LLB. LLB is the bachelor's in law. You can study BCom with LLB. You can study BBA with LLB. For science students who want to pursue law, you can still study LLB with BSc. So it's a 5-year program that has a basic degree, be it BA, BSc, BBA, BCom. And then you will also have a bachelor's in law. So it's a 5-year program at undergraduate level. So once you finish your undergraduate level, you can also specialize in, you can also pursue your master's, which is LLM, master's in law. So that's 1 to 2 years. Usually you can choose multiple specializations, which we will talk little bit later. And then you can also pursue your PhD, which means for academic purpose, you can study bachelor's in law, master's in law, and also do a PhD in law. Now, how do you get into the institute? I mean, like JEE for IITs or engineering, or NEET for medicine, or NATA for architecture, which we saw last week. Law also has a national entrance test, and that's called as CLAT, C-L-A-T, Common Law Aptitude Test. So this Common Law Aptitude Test is being widely accepted by 23 elite government law colleges across the country. So there are 23 elite law colleges in the country. We call it as a National University of Law, NALSAR. In Tamil Nadu we have one at Trichy. So we have multiple government law colleges which are really, really good, and all these government colleges accept CLAT. Not only government colleges, you also have a lot of private colleges and private universities accepting CLAT. So if you are serious about getting into BA LLB or BSc LLB, start preparing for your CLAT right at grade 11 onwards. If not at 12, you can start preparing for CLAT. We will post a separate video on how to crack CLAT at a later stage. Now, like engineering, where you have multiple specializations in like automobile, mechanical, civil, etc. In law also you have various specializations. Now, some of the specializations include, civil, criminal. Now, there is a famous myth, right? Everyone relates law to criminal. That's not the case actually, which I have already told a couple of weeks back. Law need not be or doesn't mean only criminal. There are multiple facets in law. Civil is a facet, civil law. Criminal is a facet. Criminal law is a specialization. You have corporate law, and then you have taxation law, and then you have labor law. You have international law. You have family law, you have constitutional law, you have patent law, and it goes on and on and on. So there are multiple specializations that you can make, especially at postgraduate level, where you can specialize on, say for example, you specialize in labor. So you can, you specialize in labor at LLM. So you can work exclusively with, labor as a segment. Similarly, you specialize with patent, trademarks and patents. So you can work specially on patents and trademarks. So it need not be only civil or criminal. Now, moving on, what are the career options after you finish law? Now, we have seen in movies, we have seen in television that law means going to court and then, in front of judge saying, Your Honor. In Tamil, we call Ganam Kortar Avargale. So all these things are something which we are used to because of, what they portray in television. But that's partially true, but that need not be fully true. I know quite a few lawyers who don't even step into court but still are very, very, successful practicing lawyers. How? We will see. So, gone are the days where people look at going to court and making a profession out of it. These days, lawyers go to office space like IT, how IT office spaces are, there. Lawyers also get to, experience such good things, I would say, in terms of their office space. Law has come a very, very long way. Litigation is a career option, first career option once you finish your law. Litigation is a classical courtship, model where you, for getting into litigation, after you finish your LLB, you have to practice under a senior lawyer, senior counsel. You have to practice, you have to get used to it, kind of an apprenticeship like what we have with CA, and then you have to appear for your bar exam. So once you finish your bar exam, then you are allowed to practice in courts once you clear that bar exam. So after that, what happens is you go to court and then fight, argue, whatever it is, with regards to civil or criminal. So litigation is the classical form of law. And then you have corporate counsel. Now corporate counsel is basically in-house law department that every organization has. Every organization will have a legal department. So you become a part of it. What you do in that, you are responsible for, looking into all the legal nitty-gritties of something for a contract, like vetting, negotiating the contract, drafting the contract. So from drafting the contract and then vetting the contract and then negotiation of the contract, closing the contract is something which comes under you. It could be for different vendors and for different purposes. That's the second. Third is you get into law firms. Now that's again a very popular, profession. Once you finish law, you get into a law firm. Some of the famous law firms, I would say, are Singhania and Partners, Khaitan and Co, Surana and Surana. These are some of the famous law partnership firms where they work as, as a company, and then they look into all the legal aspects, and it could be in all the specializations which we discussed earlier. It could be in civil, it could be in criminal, anything. So there will be a one-stop solution for all your legal needs. So you work under law firm. The fourth is you also, there is something called LPOs, just like BPOs, business process outsourcing. There is something called legal process outsourcing. That's LPOs. Most of the multinational companies, outsource their entire legal aspect or legal domain or division to LPO. So the end-to-end part of everything is taken care by a outsourced legal partners. So that's LPO. And then the interesting option after all these things is you can also work in media. So media and law go hand in hand. How? You can perhaps look into, legal reporting. Now, I mean, it's not that easy to do a legal reporting. You have to understand the case and then write and then, publish. So you can specialize in media law. Legal publishing is one where you can publish, you can be a publisher, like get into research and do something like that. That's again possible. Another deadly combination with law is with ACS, that is company secretaryship, which we will separately discuss sometime later. So these are some of the career options once you finish your law: litigation, corporate counsel, working in law firms, LPOs, that is legal process outsourcing, and then working for media. Now, coming to the most important part, that's the last part, the pros and cons of being a lawyer. Let's, as usual, we will start with the pros of this profession. What are the advantages if you are a lawyer? First of all, trust me, it's one of the most highly paid job provided. Now, provided if you are a reputed law counsel. For example, we all know Mr. Ramjet Malani, right? Ramjet Malani is a very popular, lawyer. For one sitting in Supreme Court, just one sitting, to appear for one sitting, Mr. Ramjet Malani charges 25 lakhs. Whopping, right? 25 lakhs. Mr. P. Chidambaram, our former finance minister, for one sitting charges somewhere between 6 to 8 lakhs. To appear in court for once, they charge 6 to 8 lakhs. Mr. Nariman, another renowned lawyer, Fali Nariman, he charges somewhere between 11 and 12 lakhs per sitting. So if you are a thorough professional and a reputed law professional, I mean, sky is the limit for you to earn. Second advantage of being in this profession is it's evergreen. I mean, it's a recession-proof profession, recession-proof industry, I would say, because, as long as the crime rate or as long as the wrongdoings are going to be there, legal as a profession is going to be there forever. So recession like COVID is not going to, hamper law as a profession. Third is the respect and prestige that you get in the society. Imagine you have you travel in car and then you put a lawyer sticker, you know what's going to happen. No, none of the cops are going to stop you, right? So the kind of respect and the kind of prestige that you have in the society is immense. When you say I'm a lawyer, people look up and say, okay, great. 3. 4 is the power. You have that power. When you are a lawyer, power comes to you naturally. So you get that aura of power when you are a lawyer. Finally, more importantly, more than power, more than respect, I think this profession is a profession that can really make difference to the society. For example, we know how Mr. Parasaran fought for this Ayodhya case and then restored the Ram temple for all of us, right? So that's the kind of change that you make in a society. Look at the respect, look at the huge respect that Mr. Parasaran has. He has been arguing for this case for 25 years and then won the case with his team. Very simple. And I mean, that's the kind of difference that you can make to the society. So these are some of the pros of being a lawyer. Like any profession, it has its own, drawbacks. Firstly, I would say you need to learn a lot in this. Unlike some of the other professions, this is a constant learning. This involves constant learning before you master the subject. So the process is very, very lengthy, time consuming, draining. So it requires that kind of commitment if you have to become a successful lawyer. 2, some hard decisions you have to take if you're going to be a lawyer. Really hard decisions. And now those hard decisions can impact you personally. It can be highly stressful as well. And number 3, it involves a lot of ethical and moral issues. So if you are you can't be a lawyer and then say that I'm very ethical. You can be ethical to your profession, but not to your conscience. So that's the difference if you have to be a lawyer. So yes, professional ethics is different from conscious ethics. So if you want to be a consciously an ethical person, you have to think twice before getting into law as a profession. But having said that, if you're very good at detailing theoretical things, litigation, that is arguing, speaking in front of someone, winning the waging a battle, if you're a debate person in school, and if you have all the etiquettes which we said, do consider law. It's a great profession, and the kind of respect that you get, very few professions get. Hope you enjoyed the video, and a small request as usual to subscribe the YouTube channel in case you haven't, and more details on law or any other careers, I have given my number in below this video. You can definitely be in touch with me, and until next Monday with an altogether new video, thank you, bye, take care.